though.
All right, let's do it. Welcome to Friday Night Pints here at the M Resorts. It's for WWE SummerSlam. Cheers.
Cheers.
Pour 'em out.
Yeah, cheers.
Pour
Yeah.
me one, Kevin.
Sheamus.
You didn't pour me one.
Sheamus and Matt Riddle are here.
Yeah,
to,
Riddle,
chop
Riddle,
it up,
whatever.
Chop it up, you know, whatever.
I'd like to point out the beer was not strong enough for Sheamus.
Yeah, we're doing a little Irish coffee.
I threw a JMO Black Barrel in me coffee, you know, Irish coffee, you know what I mean? Very
what I like.
sophisticated. Since I am the most dressed up fella here, so.
You are. You're looking sharp.
Really.
You do look
The only
smart.
one who made an effort.
How much
I made an effort
Like if we get
Today or?
in my life.
Okay. That works.
what's the full outfit? What's the price at?
This?
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't know. I don't look at the price tags.
That's Italian.
Price tags look at him.
I'm not there yet.
I mean, I'm not really. I'm not a flashy dude normally. I don't go out wearing bleeding Louis Vuitton stuff or all that garbage. You know what I mean? I wear stuff that just suits me. You know.
It certainly suits you. You look fantastic.
Especially wearing this in the desert. You know what I mean? It's a great idea.
Not a flashy guy.
He's got the right idea. You know.
I was at
Bringing
the
the
pool.
hardware. Well, not a flashy guy. You just got to bring the.
This is the flashiest thing I have right now. You know what I mean?
I bet, man.
It's a good
Oh,
accessory.
Travis.
Yeah. Is that what you call him, Travis?
Yeah, he took that championship from me at
That's
WrestleMania.
right, I did. Yeah.
But hey, no hard feelings.
say,
You've been
bad
doing a
blood or
great job taking care of Travis. But Travito, till next time, you know.
But you got a chance to get a couple belts this weekend.
Hey, I have a chance. You know, I'm tagging with Randy Orton, the Viper, the Legend Killer, the Apex Predator, and we're RK-Bro. We've been killing it. It was kind of an emotional roller coaster, up and down. He RKO'd me last week, but then I saved him, and he embraced me. He said RK-Bro is back, and now we're facing AJ and Omos for the Tag Team Championships at SummerSlam, the biggest stage in Las Vegas, Nevada. Where I made my pro UFC debut here and everything else.
Yeah.
So, you know, this city is near and dear. You know, I met my wife here, had my 3 kids here. You know, I've done a lot here in Las Vegas, and I think I'm going to become tag team champion here too, bro.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Jeff, you got the whole field advantage then, right? So you're.
Yeah.
Of course, I can't wait to. I usually get a great reaction wherever I go, but here, especially in like the Southwest, like Cali, dude,
Well, you
bro.
You
That's hard to
belt and you. Okay.
Where are you from again?
Well, I was born in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Then I was raised in upstate New York at like Saratoga Springs.
Still don't sound like you're from any of those places.
And then I went to Pennsylvania at East Stroudsburg
Yeah.
University, where I went to college with your brother.
My cousin.
Yeah.
And cousin, oh hey.
Still East
And
Coast.
then,
Still
and
East
then I
Coast.
went to Phoenix, Arizona, where I started, after I got on The Ultimate Fighter, I was training there.
Is that where your accent changed?
I was gonna say.
I'll tell-
It's a state of
You
mind.
mean
Or,
from
Yeah.
Allentown,
or did you just grow up
Pennsylvania?
watching Teenage
I,
Mutant Ninja Turtles?
dude, I swear, I talk like this, and I have twin daughters, and my one daughter that looks just like me, I have fraternal twins, talks just like me, like, hey, you know, just like really slow and everything else, and just kind of mellow all the time. And
It's genetic.
it must be.
Genetic.
You know?
Genetic accents.
You being from Allentown is like Sheamus saying he's from France. It's like
That's
that's not what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Dad's from Northampton, mom's from Parkland, Pennsylvania.
Cheers, man. Well, so you're saying you're gonna win the title and then hit the town, maybe?
Oh, I'm good. You know, if I win the titles, definitely hitting the town.
Bring the
If
title out with you?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I'm gonna wrap it around. It's gonna
If
be
this
good.
one was Travis, what's the next belt?
Your twin.
I don't
man.
know. Well,
Not your daughters.
That's beautiful.
That's kind of nice.
that would be nice. Yeah, I guess I could call one Amy and one Allison, but then Randy would have one of my.
Then you can never lose them though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, you know what? And I also think I got to see the title to name the title. You know, it has to be.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
Pretty deep, man.
Travis
drive a car before you
wasn't.
name a car.
Travis,
Yeah.
I didn't think of Travis before I got the championship. It was after I got it, and I was looking, I was like, yeah, Bobby Lashley had this. I just took it off. Now the world champion. And I'm like, this, you little guy, that little eagle, you?
That's Travis. That's Travis.
So, yeah.
That's Mick. Change him to Mick.
Oh,
Is that it? Is that Mick?
yeah, okay.
So Mick
right.
there, you know, Mick.
You okay with that, Travis? He's okay. He's all right with
Sorry,
it.
we named something else.
So this weekend, Saturday night pay-per-view, which is different from the last
Ever.
Yeah.
No, it's
Not ever, but
In
a
like
long
decades,
time.
right?
Have we had pay per
Early
views?
90s, I think.
Yeah, you used to have SummerSlams in like Saturday afternoon, Monday nights. It was
Yeah.
all kind of
But
different
since
nights.
like the modern era, really, it's always been something.
Always.
I
Was
think
there a
Saturday's
reason for the
great.
switch up?
I don't know what the idea was, but I think it's a great. I think it's a great idea. You know, Saturday's great. You know, people can go out and celebrate, party afterwards. I'm talking about the fans, and Matty obviously throwing them in there. But then Sunday you can relax. You know what I mean? And like traditionally, I don't think there's any problems with having a pay-per-view on a
We always say
Saturday.
the same thing about Super Bowl Sunday. It's like everyone rolls into work Monday hungover.
Yeah.
It's,
like,
yeah.
what's the point?
It's
Do
brutal.
it on a Saturday night and everyone can cut loose.
Brutal.
Enjoy themselves, right? Yeah.
I don't get. I mean, just because we're, you know, it's since I started, Sunday was the thing for pay-per-views, but I don't see why Saturday wouldn't work. Probably work better, you know.
Yeah. Can we
It
get rid
feels
of that
really
music,
good.
by the way? Is that possible? Get rid of that?
Being able to have this huge show on Saturday, and then you have the Sunday, and then you're going to have another huge Raw on Monday. It just feels like that buffer is going to be fantastic.
Well, we don't have a buffer because of the 6
Yeah,
a.m.
we're
flight to
flying
Denver.
to
for a
Colorado.
live event.
Oh, man.
When I take
That
the
buffer is out
championship
the
out, if I
window.
win it, it's gonna go right from the club, right to the airport, right to Colorado, and then from Colorado, right to San Diego.
Yeah.
And then San Diego, then to Stamford, Connecticut, and then back to Florida. And then I haven't thought that far ahead.
That's impressive that you
Yeah,
remembered enough.
exactly. And I gotta do.
We're back, fella. We're back. You
Yeah.
know, back on the road. Back at it. Back.
Everything's
on
Well, I mean,
Blurry,
what,
yeah.
70,000 or something like that this Saturday night? I mean, that's got to be like an unbelievable feeling to be back in front of the fans. Because I feel like, I mean, you guys came back, what, maybe before anybody, really.
Well, we
but-
kept going in the PC. You know,
Yeah.
like, people talk about the Thunderdome era, but like the PC was. I mean, that's where we went in. You know, obviously we kept the There was like a lot of safety precautions there and everything, you know, for health-wise and everything, like the testing and social distancing. But we worked through the pandemic in the PC.
How
before the
weird,
whole deal.
like empty arenas, just, you know, you, your opponent, and the ref, really.
you
in the
guys-
ring.
And the announcers. Yeah.
feeling?
I personally didn't mind it. I was on the Ultimate Fighter, and like when you're on that
yeah.
show, like there's like 16 dudes you're fighting, and like Dana White, 2 coaches,
That's it,
and
yeah.
like the ref, camera people, and that's it.
Yeah.
And like the only people that talk are the fighters and the coaches. Nobody else says a word because they're working.
Right.
So Thunderdome was the same thing. There's a bunch of people just working, and except for we got cool sounds pumped in it, you know,
Well, that was-
later
yeah,
on.
That was
Yeah.
later on,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
Not at first. At first it was just dead silent.
But at the PC, it was crazy because like we had to walk outside, and there was like a tarp set up, like walkway, to get into the back, right? And then like on the other side where the hard camera is, there was all the production people were, you know, and you could see the doors into the PC gym. It was definitely a different environment. But when we moved to Amway then for the first Thunderdome, that felt like we were getting back on track.
Yeah, Amway
back
was-
in a basketball, hockey arena. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That sort of
yeah.
style.
I just can't imagine, like, I feel like wrestling is so much of it is the crowd
is,
pop
yeah.
and
Yeah.
the feeling and the energy. When the music comes on, someone runs out and the crowd goes wild, or a big moment. And when that's not there, it's for a viewer, it's weird. I'm sure it's crazy for you.
It's weird because you're like, is it working?
Well, you don't know. So you don't know. So me and him.
Hold on, what the fuck, you know.
So we had a show, right? A SmackDown show. I met Matt only a couple of times. He was brand new. I think he came up right away, wrestled AJ. We didn't know. It just kind of like, how's it going? But the whole show got rewritten on one day for SmackDown, and we had 20 minutes before we went out there before we found out we were wrestling each other.
shit.
So we went out there, and you know, everything was great and all, but like. They didn't air for 10 days later because we did, remember, back-to-back stuff. Like
We would do
2
back-to-back
tapings.
shows, and they're like, oh, we had to rewrite. So you don't even know when you're going to be on, and then all of a
gonna
sudden,
air,
I guess that's happening this week. Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, I was like, the whole week, I was like, I don't know if it was any good.
Right.
I don't know if it was shy. I don't know if it was good. I have no idea. And I was just sitting there watching it came on, like I was in the living room at home. I was just getting off the couch, and I was like, what? I was like, is this any good?
You guys are so
You know
used
what
to
I
the
mean?
immediate reaction.
Yeah, you know,
Right,
and
when-
seeing it right away, and I was
Exactly,
like, I remember because everything hit off real well, and again, it was just us. We went out there, never wrestled before. We're going out, we're getting stuck into each other, which is great. My style, his style was a great. Right away, we hit it off. You know, had great chemistry. But
He
literally
likes to
the
get
whole
hit
time-
hard. I hit hard. He hits hard. I like to get hit. It's a good time.
A lot of hard hits.
Well, I
Yeah,
had
a lot of
no
hard,
idea.
a lot of hard hits, bro.
A lot of hard hits, but I had no idea. I was like, is this any? Was it good?
Right.
I don't know. There's no measuring stick. You know what I mean? There's no measuring stick.
So was it good?
It was great.
We're good.
So have the crowds, the reactions felt different since y'all been back?
Feels great.
I feel like the crowd. I mean,
Everything I could have dreamt
everybody-
in my head
They were ready to see
is
you guys.
happening in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
Everything I was like,
RK-Bro
wow,
stuff.
could you imagine if I came out and they were just doing this? I mean, how crazy would that be? And then like the other day I was in Gorilla before we go out to the crowd and my music's about to hit and a couple came up to me and they're just like, I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, we're just waiting for your pop. And I was like, what? And I was like, bro, oh! And I was like, oh, that was pretty good. And I roll out there and I'm rolling around on a scooter, just having the time of my life.
You can't,
Picking up my flip-flops, yeah.
you can't imitate that, man. As much as you try to do it, like you can't.
No.
I mean, the stuff was piped in originally, like, but then it was everyone was doing that, like football were doing, soccer was doing it, NFL up, but like, you can't replicate that. And then you know, then there's unpredictability of what way the crowd is gonna go. You
That's
know?
the thing too. Like baseball, you can pipe in some noises and it's predictable and you follow suit.
Yeah.
Wrestling, you don't know when the crowd's gonna be
Subjective. It's like so.
And
yeah.
they start their own chants. They start, you know, it's like.
Yeah, they might get pissed. They might get pissed off.
In the moment, maybe
Right.
you know. Yeah, absolutely. There's no way you can predict a wrestling crowd. That's one of my favorite parts about wrestling. The signs in the past,
Oh.
the Attitude Era, and like they're as much of a character as anybody is, you know, in the ring. It's
Do you have
wild.
a favorite crowd reaction you ever got?
Oh man,
It's a lot of them.
I
The
hate
crowd just loves me, man.
no, I just there's definitely a lot. I mean, I think the most shocking one I think was after Mania 28 when I kicked Brian's head off in 18 seconds. Twitter just become a thing, and I guess there's a whole thing going around Twitter like to get on Sheamus. So I
Yeah.
walked out there and I already knew what they're doing because I think it was the first time we had that kind of Raw after Mania vibe.
Definitely.
So I walked out and they're just like. They're just having a go at me right away. So it was kind of surreal. Like it was they just went in there to take over the segment at a promo, and they just went in there to mess it all up. But that was kind of like that just showed how powerful the audience.
Did you like that, or did you feel like weird about it because they weren't going with what you were trying to do?
I think back then I was a little bit apprehensive about it because like obviously I hadn't been around a long time. I was kind of like a fresh baby face. I knew there was going to be a lot of backlash over the match with Brian and me like beating him so fast. So I kind of knew, but like. You know, it's just something happens over time, you know, you get used to it and, you know, you learn to kind of like embrace whatever they're doing, whether it's good, bad, whether it's a chance to own it here or not. You just got to embrace it
And it
because you
weirdly
can't
like
fight it.
launched his career. That's talking
Right.
about
Brian
the
went-
unpredictability.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
If you're getting a reaction, that's what counts.
That yeah. As long as when you see that that's you know the angle, that's the script, that it's going to be however quick that match was. Are you like, whoa, oh shit?
Yeah, man, you don't
Right?
know.
You know, you go with the flow, and you're just like, all right, let's fucking go. Because that, I mean, that's something like that is like,
Yeah.
You got to make sure you lay the
you
kick
don't
in
see
there,
that.
right?
You didn't see that coming. Yeah, right.
Well, the thing is, those honestly, I've had a couple wins like that. Definitely not at that level of WrestleMania, but it gets especially when every
quick Will
match is
Ospreay
like
match?
10. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the matches are like 10 or like when they're 20 minutes long and everything else, and then all of a sudden you're just like ding, ding, ding,
All right, yeah.
Done.
and it's
Yeah.
like. What just happened? Like what? Like everybody's been
special.
kicking out of everything, but you just blast them and it's over. They're either like yeah, or they're like what the. Yeah, you know, it's either one. You know,
I know.
It's a good one.
Some
We
of
were
the
kind of
greatest.
talking about it today. Like, do fans, they tend to blame you when they're angry, or is it like a writer?
Oh, it's the company.
company, yeah.
Again,
That's a good spot to be in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
I can do
well,
no wrong.
I say that, but then there's other times like anything in the ring that's
Yeah,
on
of course,
me,
yeah.
you know. But when it comes to dialogue, I guess it's more on them. But we also have some input. But sometimes, you know,
you don't.
you
Sometimes
don't.
you don't have any input.
Sometimes you
Really?
do, sometimes you don't. Yeah, well, it
course.
depends on who wants you to say it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There's one guy that
The
says
V-Man wants you to say it. Yeah, you're gonna say it. Yeah.
I think a lot of it too is like we're characters, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I mean. We're athletes, absolutely, but you know the storylines, a lot of that stuff is out of our hands. We're creative, so yeah. I think people are wise enough, or the fans are wise enough now to. But sometimes they'll take it personally against a particular wrestler or whatever, superstar or whatever. So. But that's what makes it so great,
Yeah.
man. It's just so unpredictable, and people can change, and fans can change, and you know what I mean. It's a roller coaster, even for us.
Yeah.
That's what keeps on our toes. Like we can go out there one day, it's like yeah, and then something happens, and then it's like, oh, all right, this is not going the way I thought it was gonna go. And just get the rug pulled out from under you. You know what I mean? And you gotta go, and then just, instead of going this way, you're going this way.
For me, I just run into fun things like the other day I had to talk about my stepdad who left me 25 years ago when he went to get milk. and just got lost and never came back. But I was like, but Randy, you came back. my mom and dad called me and they're like, yo, who the hell is this stepdad? Well, you know, I had but they told me they wanted the stepdad thing. And
yeah, I mean, do you, as a wrestler, do you pride yourself more on your mic work, your in the ring work? Is it equal? Is there something that you think is more important to your success, either one way or the other?
I think it's all important. I think without one and not the other, I don't think you're not gonna be as successful as you want to be. You really have to have two. You know, you have everything dialed up to 10 or as close to 10 as possible. Like I had a lot of problems in the beginning. Like some of the stuff, the promos I was doing, I just my ring stuff has always been aggressive, and you know I've always found my feet in there. Especially training with Dr. Tom Pritchard in FCW, he really got a lot out of me. But the promo stuff was always lagging behind, man. And like in the beginning of my career, you know, sometimes I dreaded the mic, you know what I mean? And some of the stuff I was like thinking to myself, I never need to say this. I don't feel comfortable saying this, but I just go, well, that's the protocol. This is the dialogue, so you got to get the dialogue. But over the last couple of years, especially the PC Thunderdome here, I just feel like a shed of my skin. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'll put out, they'll tell me what the gist of it is, and I just go out there and I just be shamey, you know what I mean? I just talk about what I want to talk about and put it on way. I'm not worried about, like, if I don't get that verb in or that adjective in, you know what I mean? And that allows me to express myself a lot more. Like his dialogue, like, right away, no, I'll give you one thing, like, you know, from day one with him, he knows who he is, man, you know what I mean? And that character's portrayed, so it just comes so natural to him, and that's why I think, with the promo stuff and the backstage stuff vibe, it just comes so quickly and easy for him, you know what I mean? Because, you know, but I kind of struggled a little bit with my identity in the beginning, but, you know, that's part of it, you know? The last couple of years, mate, I just feel like give me the mic, you know what I mean? Let me go out there and slag this fella, tear strips off this ladder to take the piss out of this guy, you know? And it's a lot of fun.
It's funny, it kind of parallels what we do in a way at Barstool, where we have bloggers, podcasters, radio hosts, video characters, and you cut promos and you talk shit and you have rivalries, and like there's veterans and rookies and people who are comfortable, people who are finding themselves. We have nicknames and characters the same, you know, and it's kind of like a pussy version of that. We're not tough, we're not fighting. We're internet nerds, but we're doing the same thing.
The best similarity is that the best of us, the most successful, are just those guys turned up to 11. Dave's the big cats that you're all you turned up to 11. That's what he is. That's what he is.
I watch your videos, I see him, and it's you really turned up. Like when you're talking about Jeopardy and that guy coming in and all this in his past.
Fucking son of a bitch.
Yeah, you know. And I was like, how are you going to mess up Jeopardy? But it's like, and like the thing is, anybody could get that point across like this. But when you're like, I can't believe this. And when you talk and you get that energy, people are like,
but it took me a while, man. Like in the beginning, it was so awkward on camera.
More used to writing,
and the worst is, like, even when I first started, I hate just being in front of a camera. Like, when I don't mind talking in front on a mic. I was in the UFC. Hey, give me a microphone. There's thousands of people, and I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say something. That's fine. But when you're like on camera, hey, these are your bullet points, this, that, and you're like. Like that. I feel like I'm on casting couch. You know? I know I just have to say something. I'm nervous and I don't know what to do.
Let me ask you this: as a fighter that's literally been in there in the UFC in the highest of pressure situations, do you feel as much pressure like when you're in Gorilla tomorrow, waiting to go out in front of 80,000, or is that kind of calm, cool, collected? I've been here.
Now, when it comes to wrestling, I love wrestling and like fighting. That comes natural to me. It's like that's just second nature. The promos, though, especially if they want me to say certain things, because sometimes I just, especially with the crowd, people are chanting, and I'm like, yeah. Here's the mic. I'm like, bro.
And then you get the pop. Yeah.
But that's all you
then
have
maybe
to say.
dance. And while I'm dancing, I'm like, what am I supposed to say? That's right, Randy's there. Hey, Randy, you know, whatever.
Have you ever forgotten your lines?
No, but Randy forgot his lines one time, and I asked him what his next line was, and everybody copped on.
Like, what's my line? What's he got in Botchamania? Yeah.
Sometimes you get carried away, though, and you're like, what was this? Even in an interview, it's like, what was I saying again? Like, what was the point of this conversation? But that's what's real life for me, you know? Irish people just have to, they say gift of the gab, but we just like to talk and hear ourselves talk a lot, you know what I mean? Especially with a couple of pints, but like, I'll just go off down the road and be like, hang on a second, what was the point of this conversation again? But yeah, no, Randy, no, that was a joke. But of course, I've gotten a couple of times. But you just have to improvise and and just
Find your
work your way around the cul-de-sac. It's like driving down a dead end, and you get to the road. And there's like a little one of those circles. You just drive around the circle, and you just come back up, and then you take the left that you're supposed to take earlier on.
Sometimes you hit a 3-point turn. Whatever, you got to get back on.
I can't do 3-point turns. Huh?
Just say bro.
Yeah, just yell bro and see how the crowd reacts to that.
I'll say fella.
There you go.
There you go.
I'll say
There you go.
All right, so we've got a set of questions from our fans. I feel like wrestling fans are some of the best on the planet Earth. Same thing with our podcast listeners. They've been coming up with these questions for the last decade of our show. So we're going to start off. We got wrestling questions and we got general stupidity over here.
Right.
So assemble your 5-man pro wrestling drinking crew.
All right.
You're going to go out for a night to party. You're going to go out for a night to throw back a few pints. Do the most damage.
I feel like whatever Sheamus says, I'm probably going to be very close to that because
you guys together.
You
What
guys
would be your
roll in the same
5-man
circles?
team? 'Cause
Okay.
I don't know if
you're
he's
number
gonna.
one.
I don't know if he's gonna pick me, but I'm gonna pick him.
I would imagine you gotta be
There's been a
top.
couple times where I've been out with him where I'm like, oh, just pick.
I would
Like,
not
I
try to
can't
go
finish.
pint for
So I don't know if
drink
he's
for
pick.
drink.
But some nights I'm on fire, and if I'm on fire,
No, you are, yeah, he's
so
definitely.
you don't have
in the
to.
crew. He's in the crew.
Nice.
You gotta be top.
It's a big win.
Top 3 pick, right, in the company, if not number 1.
Well, it's some Irish. I'm an alcoholic now. Is that the deal?
Oh no.
Is that the deal, huh?
You are the only one that demanded a whiskey on stage.
I asked Irish coffee. It's an Irish coffee.
There's a difference.
It's completely different.
He'd be in it for sure. Damien Priest before he pissed me off and tried to come for me gold. You know
Damien
what
Priest
I mean?
likes
Before.
to party. He's cool.
I'm trying to think who else. Drew, but Drew doesn't drink anymore. So Damo, Riddle, again, as I said, pre-Damo, before all this last couple of weeks was wreck me head. Didn't see that coming. I'm trying to think who else would be good in the old guard.
You know who had a couple? You know who had a couple?
Taker drink. Taker was
Taker,
it. Taker was
I
it.
You know who had a couple
PSK?
drinks the other day?
Who?
Randy.
Oh.
He's a big guy. He's like 6'6",
bring Randy
6'7".
everywhere.
Insane.
You could be a 5-man crew
This
for
is why
anything
it
right
works
now.
so
You-
well. It's
And if
natural.
you think this could also be a drinking crew, but this could also be a faction. Could you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. I missed all that era. Randy,
always
on the
thinking,
first overseas tours, Cena definitely would have been on there.
Really?
Yeah,
He gets
yeah.
after it?
Did.
Yeah.
Especially overseas
Before he became
tours.
Mr. Hollywood.
Yeah.
He'll change
Taker
it.
for sure. And then.
Yeah, that's probably your 5 right there. I think you got one more. Any other classics? Or even when you were growing up, we can go way back.
He's being very discerning
Who would
about
you like
this.
to go
Yeah,
out
you
and
are. He's
drink
not,
with
he's
that
not
you
fucking
never
around.
did?
No, I drank with everybody I wanted.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you know who we didn't pick? Probably an OG, Stone Cold.
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for it. I knew it
His
was
whole
over there.
gimmick is chugging beer.
Yeah, I stole all his. So he came to Mania after the one in Texas. I don't know what number that was.
32?
But, 32. So they did was the League of Nations, and then he came out with Sean and Foley. So afterwards, he says, "Oh, you want a beer?" So I basically drank all his beers. But it wasn't too impressive.
Dude, we interviewed him once. I was probably a year ago, 2 years ago. He came in. It was like 11 a.m. on a Wednesday. He's like, "You guys mind going to grab me some beers?"
He was ready to rip.
Like, all right.
Ready to rip.
Yeah, he's definitely he lives that lifestyle, you know.
All right, over to a general stupidity here. Would you rather your girlfriend or wife, whoever, be able to read your thoughts when you're in bed with her, or all the other time when you're not in bed with her?
Yeah, in bed. I'm pretty one track. So I'm
Not
going to
gonna
be
get in trouble
thinking
for
of
that?
her in the best way possible.
Yeah, okay.
Every other time, I mean, my brain wanders. I don't know. I might be thinking
Yo,
about
get
Might be
inside
thinking
your
about
brain,
Randy.
brother.
Yeah, I might be thinking about Randy. Might be thinking about Travis. Might be thinking about, taking the belt out on the town. And that could be
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going to Rob Van Dam's pool party earlier, which would have got me
Does
in
Rob
trouble.
Van Dam have a pool party here?
He does, I believe it's at the Sapphire.
Bro.
Get that invite?
Yeah.
Let's go. RB.
You guys are over. You guys can get in there. You guys are fine. But yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah,
I feel like
in the
inside,
bed.
inside your
In the
brain,
bed.
man, is either a fucking a trip in a good way or a fucking get me out of here way? Like, I get you off this ride. I'm done with this roller coaster. Enough with Randy and Travis. Let me go.
Yeah, I definitely say the bedroom.
Anything else, you get in too much trouble. All right, back over to wrestling. Would you rather wrestle 5 swoggle-sized John Cenas, so 5 little Cenas, or 1 John Cena-sized swoggle?
1 John Cena size swaggle.
Yeah, same.
But
That
you'll
would
never,
just look
you'll never
awesome.
pick him up because he's bottom heavy, man.
You know, he fought at Rough and Rowdy. We do,
we do
like
our
a boxing
amateur
competition. He was on main event of the last.
Yeah, I know. He fought the world's
He
strongest
got beat,
little
but
person.
he put on a good fight.
He fought the world. Like the guy was that guy benches more than me.
Yeah, he
That little person benches.
He doesn't move his arms as much as you, to be fair.
I don't care. I'm still. Those are real numbers.
Yeah.
He's pushing.
Like 400
and his
pound
squat,
benches.
everything was insane. Like, he squats like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, I remember Swaggle was on the kick. Cena had him like working out, and we like you see him at all the different towns we were in like before TV, and he was doing lunges and stuff. It was like the funniest thing because like our squat, he didn't have to go very far. You know? For me, I'm like, God, it's so far down, but like he's just doing the lunges. It was awesome.
I feel like he's got to be one of the most beloved guys in the company, like or ever.
He was
you know?
great with us. Yeah.
I mean, he's charismatic.
He's a good
How could
guy.
you hate Swoggle? Like, you know.
Finley used to rib him a lot, man. I remember I heard before I came in though, I heard stories like when they were in Mexico and Swaggle was under the ring and Fit would put live chickens put underneath the ring.
Oh my
so
God.
So you come out screaming and
Poor
chickens
bastard.
chase them, from underneath the ring.
Oh man, that's like
telling us
Rocky trying to catch the
stories.
chickens.
He was telling us stories about how he was under there for hours, right?
yeah.
He had to go to the bathroom. He couldn't get out. He's just like living under there.
Oh, they rib them all the time, man.
Yeah. The chickens.
Ribs are real.
If you could have only one thing for the rest of your life, the internet, or music, TV, and movies.
Is it any one of those four?
But can I
So you
use
get
the
the
internet to watch?
Internet's one thing.
No,
or you
no.
get music, movie, and TV.
Banned
I
from
did
your
music,
internet.
movie, and TV.
Oh,
I'm
like
also-
the
cool.
giant.
I don't really need. I mean, like just for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if it got the right music there, you know what I mean, and then the movies I love, whatever, grown up liking, like on TV show, that's good enough for me.
What,
Internet,
are you-
I feel like once you guys get to where you are too, we.
I'm
need
older.
the
I mean, I grew
internet
up in that era. Like, you know, I mean, I grew up like, especially I love '80s movies. You know what I mean, and '80s music. I love '80s music so much that my fiance bleeding loses the plot when I just leave it on the whole time in the car. She's just like, she you know, she can't
Wait,
handle
you
it.
do movies in the car?
No, '80s
Music.
80s
Oh,
music.
80s.
What kind of
music,
80s
sorry,
music?
Oh, anything, man. I listen to Aha. I listen to Bleeding. I listen to anything, mate. You know what I mean? Like literally, there's so many one-hit wonders from the '80s. It's ridiculous.
What's your favorite movie from the 80s?
I'd say Back to the Future.
Nice. My fucking.
So much so I bought a
I would
DeLorean. When I made a bit of money here in WE, first thing I did, I went out and I bought a DeLorean, a 1981 DeLorean.
That is
It was a pile of shit. Like people would be on push bikes cycling by me, and I'd be hitting like as fast as I could go. But it was awesome.
You can't even
It
get
was the
that
best.
big
It was the
88,
best. The
man.
door going up. One time I went to this it must be a 2013 or 12. I drove the car to this place in Tampa, right? And it was like a swanky place. We went out there. It was Friday night, and there was like Lambos, Ferraris, all that stuff. I parked it out there. It was parked right beside him. I went in on the way out. You know what I mean? Everyone was taking pictures of the DeLorean, the $25,000 DeLorean, and no one was taking pictures with any other cars. You know, it's
You
like,
still have it?
oh no, I got rid of it.
you
I
got
sold it.
That is a move right there.
I just wanted it. I got it. That was it. And then I
Stallion
sold it.
move.
Stallion, bro.
Stallion move.
It's a great movie. It's a perfect movie.
I would say my favorite 80s movie is Howard the Duck.
I know.
I know it doesn't get a lot of
We
love.
were just talking about
Yeah.
this.
Howard the Duck, man, it was just.
He shows up in
Yes.
Marvel's new TV
I like
show.
that he's
New
reading the
episode.
play duck. And he's got like the girl
Dude,
duck.
you're right. Getting in his head would be.
Fucking scene, man.
Good times. I
Yeah.
remember watching that movie as a kid. I was like, it was RoboCop and Howard the Duck.
RoboCop.
That was one of my-
RoboCop's a great one, too.
Right before school, I was like, Mom, I want to watch RoboCop or Howard the Duck.
What is? I've seen Howard the Duck, like not the movie, but I know what it looks like. But like, what is the plot of the movie?
Okay, so Howard the Duck's just chilling on
Great
his
question.
own,
Just a smart-ass
his
duck.
own duck home planet, and it's a lot like Earth, but they're ducks. So, like, he's like in his apartment smoking a cigar, reading like a play duck, which is like a Playboy, but like the
Ducks.
And then all of a sudden, he's on his recliner, and he's like, "What's happening?" And it sucks him through. And you find out what happened. It sucks him through, and he gets blown through his whole apartment, and it brings him to Earth. Basically, scientists on Earth have like a tracking beam, and they accidentally put it on his coordinates and sucked him to Earth.
I did not think this
So
was going to
now
happen.
he's on Earth.
It's George
Howard the Duck, and then the people are still in that like place doing this science, and then they bring a dark overlord over, and then this dark overlord's in the
Writers
one
of Howard the Duck
scientist, and then Howard the Duck basically teams up with this pretty cute rocker chick.
Which
because
is
in the
the-
80s, chicks, always
Back to the
thinking
Future.
rock.
The chick from Back to the
Yeah.
Future.
So that was going on. So he teams up with her. They kind of have a thing. I don't know what happened with
weird.
her and
Wait,
Howard the
what?
Yeah, you know.
Duck fucks a rock star?
Yeah, something happened. I'm not sure. They share a bed. She likes him. He likes her. But end of the story, Howard defeats the Dark Overlord. His
Duck.
laser.
Bro.
Boom. Howard the Duck's basically a superhero.
The
Did you
passion
Howard the Duck
you
like an hour ago?
How do you remember all
I
that?
mean, like I said, I watched it a lot. I know
Clearly.
the ins and outs of Howard the Duck. I actually watched it a couple months ago, and I actually heard the vocabulary in the movie. I was like, oh, that's pretty strong for PG-13, whatever it was. But
He was in an episode of the new Marvel series. Just
Yeah.
he was slugging
Dude.
martinis, hanging out at the
Dude,
bar.
that's
What was that in?
Italian.
What was it?
Yeah, dude.
Guardians, was it?
He was in Guardians too.
Yeah,
Made a little
he's
cameo.
like one of the guys like with a gun at the end. Yeah.
That's George Lucas's greatest accomplishment. Forget about Star Wars, man.
Hey,
I
Joe,
love it. Let's talk shit about Star Wars. Star Wars. One of the,
Oh, I'm getting. If we talk about Star Wars, we're getting cancelled, dude.
I have no opinion.
This guy will cancel you.
I'll try to
Look
take
at his arm.
Trevor right off you. I got
Oh,
it.
hey.
Lightsaber right on his arm.
I didn't know what that was. I
That's
thought
a
it was like some
lightsaber.
part of a motorbike or something. I don't know.
Oh, no. Sex toy.
So
It would be a sex toy for
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I thought the last couple of Star Wars
Yes.
were not good.
Terrible.
I thought I loved
I
that.
disagree.
Empire is one of my favorite movies. Like I admit, Empire Strikes Back is one of my favorite movies. The original Star Wars, obviously. Return, as a kid, it was great because the Ewoks. But when you watch it back, whatever, I don't think it stands up. But I just thought the first one they came back with, number 7, that was very nostalgic. The member berries, South Park were taking like the piss out of it. But
The last
I
two.
fell asleep in the last Jedi and Luke.
Bob, come on. Come on.
Skywalker
You know
thing.
that those were silly.
They were
I
flying
saw The
the
Last
good,
Jedi
Bob.
7 times in theaters.
Sick.
You
Sick in the head.
had too
Why?
much
I saw it
time.
3 times in theaters because
Bro,
I fell asleep
look
each
at
time.
me.
No, it was.
Trying to finish it.
It made no sense. It was all over the place. It was.
Oh, but the cinematic,
Oh,
visuals are
fuck
amazing.
that, I can't
No,
say
like
it.
I tell you what, you know what's a great movie? Rogue One was brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both
Rogue One.
spin-offs are fun.
I'm
I
a big
agree,
Star
but I'm
Wars
rooting
guy.
for
I
Damian
love
Priest. I
Rogue
just want
One.
you to know that.
That's okay. It's all right.
Priest
I'm
is a
rooting for Howard the Duck. So there you go.
All right, back over to our wrestling questions of ATI here. What is the greatest finisher of all time?
Stone Cold Stunner.
That's
a
my
quick answer, and I think that's the
By
correct
Stone
answer.
Cold Steve Austin.
But yeah, it's got to be by him.
By
Yeah,
Stone.
not some other people.
No, I just think the Stone Cold Stunner. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think it's when he hit
about
that,
this?
mate. Everyone. went
Okay,
absolutely crazy,
so the
right?
Stone Cold Stunner delivered
Yeah,
by
so-
Stone Cold best. Who takes the best stunner? Who
Vince.
sells the best stunner?
Vince?
Vince was the worst.
That's why he's the best. He's just like,
He did the dead fish.
It actually is more realistic. That's how it
Yeah.
would go. You would just
Yeah, I guess.
Sergeant Slaughter. Didn't he take a great one
He
too?
did take a great. He
That's
took kind of
old,
the Bret
too.
Hart like stiff sell of it. Yeah, like right into the
Yeah.
shoulder.
Scott Hall took the jump.
Yeah,
back.
it's-
I hate that.
WrestleMania 8.
Yeah.
You know, like that. What about like the
But The
Rock,
Rock.
running around?
Oh,
after he
stop.
gets- it's
The WrestleMania
They
stunner.
made it in the video game when you stun people in the
Yeah.
video game. The guy was just, I'm like, come on, I'm trying to get the pin.
That was a SmackDown one, right?
rolling.
That was the original SmackDown.
Yeah.
game.
What was your
the
favorite
PlayStation.
wrestling video game?
Probably the, well, actually, I love the N64
Yes.
ones. WrestleMania 2000 was good.
Yep.
There's WCW versus NWO's really
That one,
good.
I thought nothing could top WCW versus NWO,
Yeah.
and then WrestleMania 2000.
And people give a lot of praise
Mercy
to
was
No
good.
Mercy.
Mercy was great
People
also,
give a
yes.
lot of praise to No Mercy. But I saw this one. It's like a Japanese. It's like virtual pro. It's
Oh yeah, Fire Pro.
It's not
Or-
Fire
or-
Pro. It's like maybe it is. I don't know.
One of
It's
those,
one of
yeah.
them for N64, but it's a Japanese version. And I mean, this game has like all the indie spots. Like you can like buckle bomb people into this and do this. And I'm like, how are they doing? Like this stuff wasn't even happening yet, but it's happening there.
I remember
Probably where they got it from.
Yeah,
Where we
maybe,
did
yeah.
it, bro.
trying to. I'm not sure which of those three it was. It was one of those three. Getting over the top of the Hell in a Cell, you had to like tap the button as fast as you could.
That's why we all
The
carpal
road
tunnel
to
now.
wrestle.
Well, so all those idiots playing bleeding video games like in the 90s, you know what I mean? In the late 90s. Well, carpal tunnel from just hit the button as fast as you can. Like
We used to.
I used to have a
there's an
technique.
injury
I would just hold it with one
64
hand like that.
Where you had people would get. I think when we were playing like Super Mario Brothers or like Super Smash Brothers or something like that.
Yeah,
Where like you
hitting the
get like
joystick?
you get like a burn in your hand.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've
it
been
was the
there.
same with Superstars arcade machine. Remember that? You tap as quick as you can
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
kick
wrist
out
motion,
a
you know?
pin.
I mean, at that age too, is an
Yeah.
important thing to learn. You got to get that dexterity.
I mean, maybe for you.
Let's not act like we're all above that. Okay? That's for everybody, pal. All right, marry, fuck, kill. If you're familiar with that, you got to marry one of these things, fuck one of them, and then you got to get rid of the other one.
We're PG-13, man. We can't say that middle
Marry,
words.
sleep with, and kill. Italian food, Mexican food, Chinese food.
Oh man, I'll do
I want to
do Italian.
Fine in 3, 2, 1.
Go ahead, you
He
answer.
needs more beer, mate.
Italian, Mexican, Chinese.
I'll do Italian, mate. Italian's great.
You got to marry.
Marry that one
You're
for
marrying
life.
the Italian?
Yeah, I think Italian is the
No, I have to go Asian, so Chinese, because my fiance's close to Asian, so I'll get slapped in the
smart
hand.
man. Nice, smart man.
Yeah.
Good revision, yeah.
I feel like Italian is the best of. If you take the best dishes of each of these, the best Italian dish is the best of all of them.
I mean,
I don't
think
know.
you might be right.
I've
You
been
got
to-
pasta though. Let's go pasta.
I feel
Something
if
with
you get
pasta.
If you get the best of the best, like I've been to China and I had these like businessmen like wine and dine me, bro.
Did you do the sponsor dinners where you have to hit them with wrestling moves?
No, this was an MMA kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Wasn't it?
But like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
the food I still want to go back to China and eat this
that
food.
good?
It was
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah,
good.
when you get authentic food from any,
That's why like I had my answer right.
But Italian, if you drop Italian, are you dropping pizza?
I mean, you gotta,
Or is that like
and
Americanized?
are we talking about world class? Or are we just talking about
No,
no? This
let's-
is just like general like
Just
you're
standard
gonna.
But that,
stuff.
you know what? That's the other thing when it comes to like.
Not to make this question harder.
No, so
that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Mexican food is like one of those things. Like I can have Taco Bell, or I
killing
can
Mexican
have fancy
food.
Mexican food, and to me, it's all.
Really?
You're killing it.
Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna marry Chinese.
You're marrying China.
Make some whoopee with the Italian and kill the Mexican food.
Listen, pizza's great, but like I don't really consider it like a meal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like a.
Can't
so-
believe the
it's
king
so-
of the bros
yeah.
is writing off Taco Bell.
Well,
That just seems
yeah,
well,
sacrilege.
we're not saying this. This is a like do or die. I'm just saying if I had to pick, like I would pick Taco Bell over Panda Express. But in my scenario, I'm thinking world class. I'm going
right.
world class. So it's
Fair
like
enough.
world class Chinese, world class Italian, world class Mexican. I feel like world class Mexican food. I've had really good Mexican. Only gets so high.
I agree. The difference
There's only
between the
they
best
use
and the
certain
bottom,
ingredients, even
but
at
it's
the
all
front.
good.
It's all good. I can have Taco Bell all the way to
The most
fancy.
expensive Mexican food in the world, and it's like
And
the
the-
same thing. I'm with you on that. But as a guy,
I
who
compare
likes-
Taco Bell to gourmet Mexican.
yes, you can.
No, you
yes,
can't.
you can. Yes, you can.
There's a place around the
Yeah,
corner.
then treat-
Hang on,
hey,
there's a
Seamus,
place around the
as a
corner.
matter of
No.
fact,
Then
I think
treat
it's
me.
better. I'll
Then
take the
treat
Taco
me.
Bell
Me
over
too.
There's a
that.
place around the corner for
Something
me,
like
right?
it.
Proper, authentic Mexican. I'm telling you right now, there's a huge difference between that
there is,
and Taco
and
Bell.
it's
Unless
Taco
you're
Bell better.
unless you're eating Taco Bell at bleeding 4 in the morning after
Well,
about
yeah,
a shed load of that.
I'll
I'm
eat Taco
sure it
Bell
tastes.
any time of the day.
As a
I'm
guy
sure
who
it
likes
tastes
to
amazing.
dabble in,
But
the
the authentic-
I think that the Taco Bell would be the top of your.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
problem with the authentic Mexican is that they serve everything on corn tortillas.
The corn tortillas are
Just
terrible.
not as
Yeah.
good as
And they don't
flour
have the
tortillas.
queso and the melted cheese. Dude, you're crazy.
Cinnamon
I love
twist,
corn
Baja
tortillas.
Blast.
They're terrible.
They're better.
They are
They're
awful.
better. Why don't you throw that card? They're better.
They are awful. They're like rubber.
The flour
and they
gets
fall
mushy.
apart. No, the flour's so
You know what?
soft.
You know what? I think everyone's spoiled these days. I think we're spoiled for choice. When I grew up, my granny gave me for lunch cheese sandwiches, which was just 2 slices of bread, butter, and easy single cheese. And for dinner, I have bleeding. I know it sounds stereotypical, corned beef and cabbage and spuds. I feel like everyone is so bleeding spoiled for choice now.
Did you
like,
grow up in the 30s?
I love me a cheese sandwich, but I do the mustard cheese.
Yeah,
I used to have butter sandwiches.
But dinner,
just a little
you know,
butter.
Bread and butter?
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Actually, no, a good delicacy is if you ever go to Ireland, it's like a crisp sandwich, right? So crisps are like, they call them, what they call
Chips?
Chips, but they call them crisps in Ireland. So Tato is the biggest, Tato and King are the biggest chips, crisps, whatever. So you just get like, basically get 2 slices of bread, a bit of, lash the butter on and put the
looking for a
crisps on
good
in
one?
between it. And that
That sounds
crunchy as hell.
Yeah, we gotta get some this
awesome.
weekend.
That's what you should be eating after your, you know, wacky,
That sounds fantastic.
wacky.
Your endeavors, yeah.
You know.
All right, here's another one for you. There are 2 buttons that you can press. One of them, you instantly get $1 million, no questions asked. The other one, you have a 50-50 chance of getting $100 million or nothing. So 50-50.
I'm just gonna
Say, how
I'll answer this
He
first.
went a Rolex.
I don't know about you.
We might need to up
we
the
got to up the
prices.
numbers
Yeah.
on
No, I'll do the 50-50.
Yeah. This guy's taking a chance.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll take the 10.
Yeah, you'll
right?
take
10. Even if it's 1, I'll take the 1, and I'll be good. I can retire right now. Like, I'm good, Vince.
What number would it need to be for you to take the guarantee? No 50-50.
10.
10? Okay, 10 million. And you're taking the 1?
I would take, I can make that money last so long.
I was gonna say, I feel like
I don't know if you know my lifestyle.
Buy with fucking,
Yeah, it's pretty
we're not
sweet.
rolling out with the Rolex. Yes.
By the way, when I'm home though, literally I just wear.
He honestly dresses more like this than I do.
Yeah, I got like.
But even my nice
Flip-flops.
clothes don't look that
Do
nice.
you ever dress like this?
You guys
No.
should swap. You guys should swap identities.
I wish.
By the way, I just dressed this because
I might get some of those shirts. What is that?
I'll give you a few. Of these.
Yeah, I need
It's
gave me one. I think it's
father and
hand-me-downs.
sons from the UK. They make you look bigger than what you are.
Oh,
They're tight and
they're great.
spandexy.
I gotta get me some.
I actually got this same shirt.
Yeah, shout out Suplex.
Suplex. What's up? Later, Joel.
When was the last time you were clean shaven?
Oh, I did it in after I tore my shoulder. I
No, you're asking.
made a bollocks of my beard.
Growing this.
Can you grow one?
No, I've been
That's it?
growing
That's
this.
it?
This is actually Randy's facial hair. He has a mustache, flavor saver, and a little goatee. And I've been growing it for about 2-3 weeks now. I might color it in before tomorrow's event, or I might shave it. We'll see.
Color it in, mate.
You should color it in.
He'll
Color it
appreciate
in.
He'll appreciate
I think
that.
Randy would like it.
Randy would love it.
Wait, you said how long ago? You were hurting?
So I tore my shoulder in 2013, and I was trying to fix the beard, and I made a bollocks of it. And so I just shaved it all off, and then I had to go to Birmingham. I think it was in Birmingham to visit the doctor, and then I was backstage, and I'm walking in, right? Like nobody recognized me.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And even when I walked in backstage, like security stopped me and everything. I'm like, it's me. It's Sheamus, yeah. But I kind of like, do you remember Homer Simpson shaved the 5 o'clock shadow or 6 o'clock shadow? That's what I look like without it. I look like your man from Happy Days. What was the guy's name? Ron Howard's character? I look like Richie Cunningham. It's not a good look.
You look like him.
Travis Kelce just did that when Travis Kelce.
Yes, he shaved his beard. He looked
Everyone was like,
ridiculous.
what the hell?
Oh, by the way,
What color hair
hair
is
color.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
What hair
that.
color would you say he has?
Jesus, I don't know.
We asked you to touch it. We asked you what color it is.
Strawberry blonde, is it?
What'd you say?
Strawberry blonde.
Oh, fuck that.
It's definitely more blonde than
It
straw.
is blonde, yeah.
The lighting. It's the lighting.
It's been a big
been
controversy.
orange
Is
all
it blonde?
It's
Is it
been,
orange?
it was super orange.
Well, with this light, it is hard to tell.
Nobody fucking knows.
No, it's because it's actually it's a hair color that hasn't been invented yet.
what I'm saying.
I started.
You did. Yeah, you started your own
I'm a
genre
one
of
of
hair.
one.
Mango.
I used a bunch of sun all summer.
You got the
I used to use that all the time.
Fucking right, you
Stallion moves.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
He's a super king, bro. You gotta. You are a super king, bro. You would fit right in with this guy and Randy.
We should hang out later.
Yeah, I'm in.
manager.
the big
All right,
the mustache
after
going on as
party
well. The
tomorrow.
barber, old school barber mustache. Or
Yeah, he's the twist going.
I'll twist it up.
Yeah.
It's the masks kind of fuck you because you.
I had the same problem. This was longer, and I had to cut it short. Like I had a long, like Wolverine vibe sort of thing, but I had to cut it because the mask just messes it up. You know what I mean?
It's like
It
it's
just
flat. Can't even use the wax because it just gets all over it.
How dare coronavirus?
Yeah,
Damn you! Damn you, coronavirus! This is beautiful.
There's been one bad side effect of the coronavirus. My beard.
It's my mustache.
All right, this is one I'm happy I grabbed here. Would you rather be thrown off the top of the Hell in the Cell, Mick Foley style,
Right.
or wrestle New Jack?
When he was alive, obviously.
I wrestle you, Jack. I'd love to do that.
Really?
I would.
I'd
Yeah.
beat the shit out of him.
Please.
I fought in the UFC. Like,
I mean, there's
How
a
is that?
chance
He
he's
also
coming in
might
with real
just
weapons.
stab you, bro.
That's all right. Stab him back.
yeah, like what do? Yeah, you stab him back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, and New Jack, I feel like when you're that kind of guy, like I feel like he would respect Sheamus, he'd probably respect me, and it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh, that guy's gonna stab me.
Right.
Back. You know? Like that guy he's a little off, you know.
having UFC training, are there ever any times where it's like, because I feel like sometimes there's probably some real
Yeah.
beef backstage or
All
whatever,
the
get
time.
along, and knowing that if it's not a scripted fight, if it is like you're really throwing hands, you could probably handle yourself pretty well. Is it ever kind of like, listen, I will fuck you up, man. This is not
Like if an
scripted
old timer
match, bro.
tries to come up to you to intimidate you.
I look at it like this. I would never want to have to do that. My goal is, even when I fought in the UFC, even now, is to always be like, hey, bro, like even like Goldberg ran into me a while back, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And I could tell and I was like, hey, bro. Again, he's like, I'm not your bro. I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know. But at the end of the day, if anybody does put their hands on me, they'll find out sooner than
Real quick.
Yeah. And I'm not worried. And I think my demeanor shows that because I'm, it's like I don't have to be like, what?
Yeah, I've always
I
found
feel
the
like
toughest guys are the most laid back.
Yeah, they
I can
are.
work you up if I need to. I'm not gonna-
Every real badass I ever met, every like world class like savage I've ever met, from Vanderlei Silva,
Yeah.
he's the axe murderer, right? You see him tattoo on the back of his head, crazy. That guy would come onto the bus and be like, hey, how you doing?
What's up, man?
That's like,
And that's like
proof.
more of a pro, but like that's what he did as a mixed martial arts. He has respect for everybody, but like when he fights, you know. And it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just,
Well, I think it's a respect. I mean, it's also like.
but if you
intimidation.
disrespect him, he'd be a psycho and like try to like him and Chael and all that. Like it's
Yeah, but
a
you just
thing.
don't. Yeah, I mean, like you don't like people who can handle themselves. They don't need to prove anything. They don't need to talk a tough game. It's always the people like. And I grew up in Dublin too. Like, listen, I fought as a kid all my time in the school ground. I was always, you know what I mean? I was like throwing digs or getting digs, and it's like
Digs
the
are
ones.
fights.
I mean, the lads.
I don't know. I've been to the UK a bunch, so I know everything he's saying.
Translator,
But
yeah.
if you
Scrap
don't
them,
know,
I'll scrap
there's a
them.
bunch of slang going on. You'll get it.
Yeah, but I just said like the guys who can handle themselves are not like they're the ones who don't say nothing. That's always that's what I always like. Always be wary of the quiet ones, man. Always. The quiet ones are the ones you gotta look out for. It's not the lads who are like barking like mad,
Sure,
sticking their chest out and huffing and puffing, you know?
You got a countryman back home, Conor McGregor, who's so well known for he talked the talk, and he's a pretty big savage who at in his peak would fuck you up as well.
Yeah.
And he was always running his mouth, right?
So this is the thing. I also believe in karma. Conor McGregor's done a lot, but at the same time, you can only puff your chest out so long and it means
Before it
something.
comes back to
I
bite
think
you.
it was right time, right place. He puffed it out, and honestly, I kind of don't like it because now every fighter and dude thinks they have to be like this douche now. And it worked for him, bro. One guy. Everybody else doing it. It's just obnoxious and annoying.
They're not
It's
trying to have
actually-
their own
And it's actually
personalities.
kind of toxic in a way. Well, like back when I fought, like not like back when I was a kid, but like I felt like there was a little bit more respect for your fellow competitor, even if there was trash. I was like, yo, I hate you. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna knock you. Whatever.
It wasn't the era
But,
of
like,
money fights.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And now, like once he did that, and then they saw the success he had. You saw every press conference, everybody's wearing a suit and sunglasses and being super cool. It's like, no, none of you are that cool.
Right.
None of you are that cool.
I think
Conor
Conor's
was,
also-
but you guys aren't. Like, and that's like when Conor was like, who the fuck is that guy? And everybody did. Like, yeah, none of you guys could pull that off because he's cool enough to do it. You guys aren't, you know?
Yeah.
And people don't realize that. They just try to imitate when what they need to do is be themselves, turned up like we all do, and that's why we find success.
I think Conor's also been very heavily influenced by WWE. There's no doubt about it. Like promos and stuff. Of course, like there's no like. He's definitely watched it a lot. You know what I mean?
He credits Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali credits classic
Exactly.
Freddie Blassie.
Yeah. So it's all like it's all linked together. You know what I mean? it was definitely something new at the time. But now, like, yeah, people have to create their own style,
Do you
their own
think
thing.
Conor would thrive in the WWE?
You know, I don't know the schedule would. I don't think he'd last the schedule. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think many UFC fighters would.
don't
I
realize.
mean, Matty will probably attest to
Yeah,
that because it's like.
I'll be honest with people. Like even when I got into wrestling, I'm like, well, I found the UFC, you know. And then you get there. I got into the UFC faster than I got into WWE. It took me like 5 years to get to WWE. It only took me about 8 months to get into the UFC because I had the wrestling background, I had the jiu-jitsu background, and I
I
hit
feel like
really
it's a
hard.
revolving door
Yeah.
too. Guys get
you get
short
fired.
lifespan.
You
You
get
think his
in.
size
you
would be a
get
hindrance too? He's a little small.
Yeah, but look at Floyd Mayweather.
True.
You know, and then kind of like what, like you get Sheamus coming in, oh, you think you're the Irish, and then he cracks Sheamus and he drops. It's like, oh wow, he just knocked that, and then Sheamus beats the shit out. You know, like
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
All right,
Pretty
you
good.
just
Oh, I think, yeah.
it works, but at the same time, and I think with our product, because one thing is, Conor does appeal to that mass unit of fans, like the 18, that demo.
Yep.
But at the same time, we appeal to kids, to everybody.
Yeah.
So it's like there's got to be some kind of filter, even like with the Jake Paul and all that. Like some of the stuff they do and say, I'm like I wouldn't want to say that to somebody, you know. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm all about pushing lines and talking trash, but I'm like, I think that was a little too much.
What do you
But
think
Jake
in general?
Paul, what he says to McGregor is like,
Dude, like,
I mean,
dude,
some
when
of
a
those
dude
things-
snaps his ankle in half and then you make like 150. One, how many people have that much money? And then two, to make that necklace and then like yeah, here, you take it because you fought him and he broke it. Like, it's like,
And even just
and that's
talking
real.
about
That's
wives,
real life.
kids.
That's real.
Yeah,
that's
talking
real.
about the wives and
It's
kids, I don't
real
like.
life.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
I mean, if someone's talking about your wife and kids, your fiance, like, are you able to just be like, all right, like he's just promoting the fight, he's taking it too far, but he's just promoting the fight, so I'll let it slide, or is it like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy if I see him?
it depends on who he is.
Yeah.
It
It
blurs the
depends
lines,
on,
though, right?
and that's not like a weird thing. It depends on how it's said. Like, yeah, like, yo, man, he's a bitch. His wife's a bitch. Whatever. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I'm still
do you
gonna
say?
fight this guy.
Still
But if like
DMs?
somebody's like,
Yeah.
if somebody's like going into like, oh, I'm that piece of garbage, and then you're like, oh, okay, like you're gonna say some shit.
Story, yeah.
Like, okay.
Look.
There's
I think McGregor would do well. I think he did a short burst, or was a thing to Mania or something like that. You know, like they've done with Mayweather in the past.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, if it
You
wasn't
know.
for the schedule, but the in the
You
ring.
have to
Yeah,
do
I don't
part-time.
think he can.
I'll be honest.
Ronda
I wasn't a mad fan of the Jake Paul thing, or which one was it?
Logan Paul
Logan
at
Paul,
WrestleMania?
at the Mania thing, and I
Took a
didn't.
decent stunner.
I actually see him. I see him
I'm a
later
Logan
today.
fan, so I'm a little
Oh, you
biased,
do?
but-
I do. I go
Yeah.
see Logan Paul later today.
I don't even know
He's
which
looking
one is
pretty
which.
stout. Maybe I'll try.
Dude,
I don't know which one is which. So what's the deal with them? Like your
They're
man
brothers.
wants to be a
Logan-
boxer or something, or
Logan is I think the like smarter, a
More
little bit
tolerable.
classier, more. Jake is like an obnoxious, in-your-face internet troll.
Yeah.
He can box, he can throw hands, but he's like
He's a piece of
he's the
garbage.
problem child.
who's the one that fights? Is it Jake that fights?
Do you think he's going
What's
to
that?
beat
Jake
Tyron
Woodley?
Jake boxes.
They both
but
fight.
no, but Jake, they both fight. but
Jake's a better
Jake
fighter.
is a better
The
boxer.
Tyron Woodley
Logan was like,
fight-
I'm here to put on a show.
Tyrone's
Okay.
hard, all that.
And Logan's a
But
little
Jake's big. Like Logan's big. Like they're not small dudes.
They
They're
grew up
like,
wrestling.
and the thing
They're-
is, like I fought welterweight. I remember meeting Tyrone. Tyrone's like 4 inches shorter than me. He's
Yeah.
powerful,
But
but
he's
he's
stocky, yeah.
stocky. I know Jake. I met Logan. Logan's probably close to my size, very similar build.
Yes,
I would
yes.
imagine Jake's very similar build because they're, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I think Jake's got the reach. He hits really hard. He doesn't have the same amount of fight experience, but it's different fighting. MMA is different than kickboxing or boxing or wrestling or jiu-jitsu. So it's
So are they going to do MMA? Is that the deal?
no, they're
doing
boxing.
boxing.
But
Yeah,
that's-
if
I
it was
wanna see
MMA,
that
Tyron
crossover
Woodley
one
would
day, yeah.
it wouldn't be close. Tyron Woodley would just
course.
smash him, clinch him, because there's just like even me, like if I was in a boxing match, like I'll be honest, if I had to box somebody, I'd probably get my ass whooped. You know, like I'm not a professional boxer. Like, that's not what I do. Like, but I can clinch you, knee you in the face, elbow you in the face, take you down, get nasty and mean because I fight like that's I'm grimy. That's what I do.
Right.
But like that's a sport. Boxing's a sport.
Right.
Kickboxing's a sport.
Yeah, I mean
Wrestling's a
MMA
sport.
is a different.
MMA,
There was a
MMA,
video-
they call it a sport. It's a chess match per se, but it
But
is
it's
like when hey, I had to elbow you in the temple like this. Oh, now you moved your hand, triangle choke.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
is that really like it's
That's
brutal.
not a chess match.
Yeah, that's like a
fucking-
weird. Yeah.
Well, there was a video that we covered on our site a few months ago that went viral of 2 college football players who were, like 6'4".
Oh yeah, in the
He
bathroom.
got worked in the bathroom.
Bar, and he, he thinks he's hot shit. 'cause
I've
he's
done that
on the
before, but
football
it's
team,
never made
talking shit to
YouTube.
some guy who's probably 6 inches shorter than him, but that dude trained MMA.
He's a wrestler,
He threw wrestler, yeah. He threw the first punch, and I mean, this guy, bow, bow, bow,
Lights
put him,
out.
It was.
over with the quickness.
That's actually probably the
One
video
guy
of
almost
the year.
lost his eye. The guy who started it.
But
Wow.
those guys, threw the first punch or were talking the shit, and they
crazy.
found out real quick. You never know who you're gonna run into in a bar anymore. Everybody
thing-
trains.
dude,
Everybody
You see
can fight.
cauliflower ear.
Everybody-
Get out of there.
Yeah, that's my number one sign.
Bro,
You got cauliflower ear,
I
gone,
don't.
man.
I know how to do everything. I don't start fights with nobody ever. I'm
Never
just
know
like,
who's gonna fucking, you
yeah,
That
never.
also the other thing is too, like, that goes too far, you know what I mean? Like I've seen it happen. Like, I worked the doors too. I've worked the doors with some in Dublin with some crazy guys.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure you see some things.
like some lunatics, like working with me on the door, because I used to work for a security company, and then like there was this lad from Europe, and this guy was drunk, and I was trying to hold him back. He knew he was drunk, and then he put your man was just waiting for him to put his hands on him, and he dropped him. You know what I mean? The doorman dropped him, and like he could have hit his head or anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and then that's it. Your man's like, it's just,
You
it's
go
just.
from a bar scrap to a
I mean,
A
that
coma
happened-
or something.
Just like that.
happened to Scott Hall. I mean,
So you're right.
you
You're
gotta do a
smart. You know what I
kill
mean?
someone.
Smart.
Right,
You know, clench him, whatever you need to do. But as long as
And
it's
I always
dropping.
look like this, like when I first started fighting, I watched like an instructional DVD, and they go, if you ever get into a fight, so he pushes you. Hey, you put your hands up, but if you notice, I'm
real
already
quick.
in my fights real quick. I'm like, hey man, don't do anything, don't hit me. And I'm ready to parry and punch him right in the face, but I'm like, sorry. But like that's like number
your
one.
hands
like,
up.
Hey,
Right.
hey, try to dismiss the situation before anything, but be ready to go. You know, and
All right, we'll do one more of each year
Okay.
before we wrap it up.
wrap it up.
Just relax, man.
Sorry, I'm sorry, man.
There's no one more relaxed than this fella here. I'll tell you that. Right.
SummerSlam's coming up, bro. You getting me juicy? Just ask us whatever you want to ask us,
If
man.
you could erase one thing from your mind to relive it again, what would it be?
My debut in WWE.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You had
it
a
was
great
fun.
debut?
Yeah, it
It
was
was not
uh,
like Shockmaster?
Not like Shockmaster. Even though before I went out there, mate, I was like, there's a million things starts rushing through my mind that you don't want to rush through your mind. Like,
Terrified?
if I can mess this up, whatever. Like, I talked about the guy I was in the ring with, this guy called John Oliver. I don't know if he still wrestles, but he was awesome, man. He was great. Like, every move I hit, he took great. But yeah, I remember literally, like, because we were on ECW, and normally ECW was taped, and we were on the West Coast. So it was live. So we're live before SmackDown. And I was like, and you start going, oh my God, this is live. This goes wrong, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So, but like, the adrenaline rush I got going out there, and the crowd and everything was amazing, mate. I'll never forget it. Like
Is that like some real like one shot, one opportunity? Like
Yeah.
You're really worried like fuck if
I
this
mess
doesn't
this
go
up.
right.
100%.
Yeah.
100%,
Yeah, like
man.
if you bombed that night, would it have been like back to the bottom of the ladder for you, or did you have a little bit of
knows?
slack? Like,
Well, I think if you start off in a bad turn or on the bad foot, you know, then you're an uphill. Now there's a lot more pressure, and even the pressure you put on yourself as well. You know what I mean? So you do get one opportunity to do it. I've seen people come before where they had an opportunity and they don't do well, and then you know they just move on to the next guy because there's so many people hungry. He'll tell you he was in NXT. There's a lot of hungry talent down there who are biting, you know. Chopping at the bit to get up here and to get in here. So like, if something doesn't work out, they're not going to wait, and the next person's going to come up. You know, so that's just the way it is. You get an opportunity. As you train for so long, you put so much effort and commitment into it, but then it just comes down to that whatever 5 or 6 minutes or whatever it is you have for that first time you're out there. And yeah, I've seen a few people like literally just let their mind get the better of them or their nerves get the better of them. So.
That is crazy. Because like, you think about it in sports, like you at least have a rookie contract.
yeah, you have a bad debut, but you have a whole season
yeah,
or whatever
you got
to
a
work
game,
it out.
like, you know.
This could be one night, yeah.
Like, in baseball, I feel like sometimes it gets sent down pretty quick. But
Yeah, but-
every
but-
other sport,
Like I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but I'm saying like if that happens, and you know now you're on the back foot, now you're
Now maybe the
now you-
crowd's not reacting to you the next time you
yeah,
come out.
Uphill
and
battle.
you're also you know you gotta like prove yourself even more the next time. So you just put a lot more pressure on yourself. So that first time definitely you don't get a second chance of making a good first impression. You know what I mean? And it's true.
About you. Could be
for
anything,
me-
by the way. It doesn't have to be
Yeah,
wrestling. anything
for
like-
me, well, it's wrestling, but it's amateur wrestling. When I was a senior in high school, I tore a meniscus, and I like came back, and I ended up winning states the same year. And John Jones ended up taking third, and I won states. And when I won states, I was in the finals. I was in overtime, and the guy kind of took me down, But the ref didn't call it in time, and I like switched it and stuck the guy to his back, and the whole crowd started fucking booing. He's like, "You suck, motherfucker!" Like, boo! Like, "You suck, ref!" Like, and I'm just like, and then I get up and they're booming, and I'm just like. I'm 18 years old.
And you're a heel already.
And they're just booing me. A bunch of people from Long Island.
That was the moment you knew, like.
And I was just like, oh, this feels so good. And then afterwards, my whole family each gave me a card with $100, and I could tell it was already in envelopes like a week earlier. And they're like, "We didn't know if you were gonna win, but congratulations." And like, I made like $1,000 that night from everybody in my family because they gave me money if I won states. So it was just. It was a good experience.
What did you think of that buzzer beater gold medal? Did you see that?
Yeah, Gable Stevenson.
Gable Stevenson.
Beautiful.
Like, last fucking
dude,
second.
you don't stop. I'm actually shocked. The other guy seemed he was just stalling.
I feel like
stalling. He just kept grabbing on the leg, hooking, and shockingly, you can get points taken from you for that because in wrestling, it's you gotta stay active. You know, that's the whole point.
Right,
so.
Right.
It's crazy considering too. They're going to take wrestling at the Olympics, weren't they? At one stage.
They still might. They're reckless for some reason, and they're like, "Oh, nobody watches." It's at 4:00 in the morning. Some years. It's like you can't judge it like that.
That moment was one of the best.
That got so much buzz. That moment.
And if you want to look at it like this, how many Olympic other athletes are making this much more money after their careers? There's a bunch of Olympic wrestlers from other countries, from America, that go into MMA and make thousands of dollars.
This guy's doing the backflips. He's got personality.
He literally,
he'll be at SummerSlam tomorrow.
He literally won the gold, and I was like, "Oh, like impressive." And then he hit like a cartwheel back, and I was like, "Wait." Usually after a wrestling match, Division I East Stroudsburg, I'm like, like this, and this guy like just won Olympic gold. It was like.
Yeah, something. How about it in the Olympics, the karate? The dude who won the gold medal.
He won my point, but
How does that make sense?
Wait, what happened?
This dude did some Karate Kid shit, like pow.
He got him right out, and he lost.
Too hard of a
Got
strike.
disqualified.
So the guy who was on his back gets
Not
gold.
supposed to knock him out.
Well, I
not
guess
supposed to hit that
it'd be
hard.
the same as if you're in one of those fencing matches and you're like, wow,
Yeah,
you're
that's
knocking
supposed to
out, killed him. Like, no, that's not.
It'd be a little different.
I get it.
Contact sports.
Yeah.
But it's not a
What are we
combat
doing?
sport. I don't know. They had some.
They look
some
at it as
stupid
touch
rules for it.
point fighting.
Right.
You know,
That's some bullshit. All right. We'll wrap up with one last question. I don't need to look at it. Give me your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers, current, past, alive, dead, 4 greatest wrestlers in your opinion ever.
The one for me who got me totally into WWE was Macho Man Randy Savage. He was just absolutely phenomenal. Promos, his gear, his entrance, his charisma in the ring, having Elizabeth there. It was just like, to me, that just
Checked every box.
everything, mate. Like, I would be glued.
He had
to him.
one hell of
was
an
in
elbow drop.
Oh my God! Over the rope, we grabbed the guy's head,
I love a
jumped
dude
over
that
the top
really
rope
lays
into
it
a
in.
slingshot. And he, and I remember the first time he was like doing this thing. He did a thing with Steamboat with the bell, and he went in with George the Animal Steel, and he, with Steamboat again. And like, to me, he was just everything. Like, you talk about all the boxes checked, the promos are all, like, you still see people like putting social media, some of his promos, cup of tea, you know what I mean, and like all these things in there. So for me, it was great. Him. Then of course after that, like, I was totally into totally of the Warrior, Ultimate Warrior, because of like his energy. Like, what kid, like whatever 10, 11-year-old kid couldn't get into? No, but it's just, I'm talking about the energy. The music hits. He's running down. He's shaking the ropes. I mean, in-ring work, whatever. But
WrestleMania 6 and 7.
yeah.
Rock got a great match out of it.
6 was great. But like,
It's all opinion, other people.
No, it is opinion. It is opinion. And I'll tell you, the other guy was, I was a big fan of $1 Million Man. Because again, he was there today at the media day because just a brilliant heel. He moved around, he bumped around, he made everybody who was in that ring with look like $1 million. And then I'd say,
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Yeah. And then I'd say the other one would be Stone Cold. I think for me is another one who I love watching. Just everything about him, his promos, and of course when he hit that finisher, the roof just came off.
What do you think the better is, his entrance with the glass, or when he finishes it with the stunner? Because to me, those are equal.
Oh, they're equal, man.
Yeah, they're unbelievable, right?
equal.
Give me your 4.
The glass. For me, I'm all about in ring, so it's like Kurt Angle,
Knew you were gonna say
Shawn
Kurt.
Michaels, Bret Hart, Goldberg. No. No disrespect.
No disrespect. Hands up. No, not me either.
The last one, there's a name. I'm not gonna say it, but I would probably throw him on there. But because of his past, I won't.
Oh yeah. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna throw one more on, is there 5? Who's
Four.
that?
Four.
I have never been to Mount Rushmore.
Nobody's been around Mount Rushmore.
Here am I. So.
And honestly, because he inspired me and he's pretty sweet and he's at a sweet pool party today, Rob Van Dam.
Nice.
You know what I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
say Randy.
I thought we were gonna get Randy.
Randy, but
Oh, well, Randy, this is, you know, we're talking
about
I was talking about people
past
that
guys.
aren't wrestling. And, like, you know, they're not our presidents anymore.
Right.
We're talking about
True.
wrestling.
Good point.
If you're in the ring, Randy's my partner.
You know a lot about this
We'll be
fucking
on that
mountain
Mount
you've never been
Rushmore together one day.
yeah, you guys will have your own Mount Rushmore.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope
We're gonna put it off, just off to the side, you know.
Yeah.
About 4 miles down
Like
the road.
4 or 5 miles on another mountain, just like.
Chisel bro into it.
It's crazy. There's so many great superstars that like. No mention, you know, The Rock, Undertaker, Kane, Mick Foley,
Hulk Hogan,
Ric
Flair.
Hogan, you know, it's in.
What? Oh, I should have said Flair.
Well, it's too late. You already
Too
answered.
late.
Locked in. Never change your
That's
mind.
the
not
problem. There's so
before
many. There's so many. It's hard to pick. And then like what I say today, you know, what you say today, you may say another time, a different time. But like I know, like for me though, those guys growing up, like I know the Warriors' work in the ring was not good, but everything before that, the entrance and the stuff.
He
it was
would
just-
look great on a mountain too.
I think yeah.
The hair, the paint,
The face
Definitely.
paint.
With his
all fired. Yeah, all fired up, dude. You could rock like rappel down his face. It's just-
Savage though, man. Savage.
Savage.
That was my guy.
Like
And
His
this was
punches
not
were
a
so
bad
good,
little,
too.
like, you know,
he was great.
extra
Man.
piece of the puzzle.
No.
All right, fellas. Well, thank you so much for the time. Really unbelievable. Best of luck to
Cheers
both
for
of you.
the free beer and the Irish coffee.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. So,
appreciate it.
Saturday night, WWE SummerSlam. Both these guys will be in action.
Nice
You
meeting
can
you.
watch it on Peacock, so
I know
download
you.
the app, hit up Peacock, and watch. The show starts. The show's going all night long Saturday night. So,
And remember, George Lucas's greatest achievement is
Howard the Duck. No brainer, bro.
thank you so much, guys.
Sweet.
It was really great. Thanks so much.
hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Bro.
Cheers, bro.